Peace and blessings, beloved. It's your sis Aisha Abdul Rahman. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you a couple of Krio vocabulary words that you can use during your trip to Sierra Leone. So I think that Krio is a very beautiful language. It's very easy to understand. At least to me it is. If someone is speaking slowly, it's pretty easy to understand. The hard part is your accent and your pronunciation. So in today's video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Krio words that I've learned and the Krio words that I wish I would have known before I went to Sierra Leone. So Krio pretty much was a language that was established based on the metropolitan culture in Sierra Leone. So Krio is actually a mix of languages. It includes English, and then there's all different types of Krio. So in Sierra Leone, they speak what is called, it's a Niger-Congo language, which is basically considered an English Krio. So there's French Krio, there's Portuguese Krio, but in Sierra Leone they speak an English Krio. So the Sierra Leone Krio is actually a mix of Yoruba, Hausa, Tree, Mende, Temne, Fula, Arabic, and even there's some French words. So you'll hear words like beku, which is a French word, which means a lot. You'll hear people say words in other languages mixed and intertwined in Krio. So if you love language, Krio is going to be fun to learn, and it should be a lot easier to understand than it is to speak it. At least I'm finding it's a lot easier to read and to understand, but not necessarily to formulate the words to speak it, if that makes any sense. So a couple of words that you should know when you go to Sierra Leone is hello, which is couche, or you can say coucheo. So the O is like an exclamation point. It's like emphasizing, like, hey, how are you? Like, what's up? So someone will say couche, you say coucheo. You will also hear morning, which is good morning, or good evening. So it sounds just like English, but when you look at the way that it's spelled and the proper way to pronunciate it, it's very different. So I could be pronouncing these words wrong. So good evening is G-U-D-I-V-I-N. So I'll put a link in the description below. I did a little bit of research and I was able to find a Krio book that the Peace Corps uses. It's a very, very nice, thick PDF. You can print it, you can use it on your cell phone, you can use it on your iPad. So I've been using this to study Krio with my tutor. So I actually have a tutor, and what I do is it gives me practice, because not only am I reading it, but I have someone that I'm practicing speaking it with. So sometimes we'll use WhatsApp to chat, or we will actually use the voice function, using the microphone function, which I think is better, because then he can help me with my pronunciation and then I can hear his pronunciation. So I think the best way to really learn it is just through practice. So I don't think reading it is gonna be enough. I've been trying to listen to Krio news. Most news in Sierra Leone is in English, but sometimes you can find YouTubers that have Krio news, or you'll find YouTubers that speak Krio on their channels. So that's really good to help you to learn to get acclimated to hearing Krio. But in terms of speaking Krio, I feel like you really need a person to practice with to get your pronunciation right. So couche, coucheo, morning, or good evening are some basic greetings. Then someone may also ask you audi badi. Audi badi is like, how are you? How is your body? How are you? You can say di badi fine, or di badi final. Basically, I'm doing well. Or you can say well, are you self? So I am well, and yourself. Another phrase that I love is usayu kamauts. So I've been practicing my Krio with my husband, and he just looks at me like, what? Come out of what? Come out of where? So oftentimes you'll hear these words, and the way that they're used in the context, you know what that the person is saying, even though you don't necessarily speak Krio. So usayu kamau is a person saying, where are you from? So you can say akamau na America, or America. So you're saying I come out, or I come from America. So akamau na America. So usayu kamau America. So oftentimes what I've learned is it's not necessarily that I need to speak Krio, but I need to be able to respond when people speak Krio to me. People will assume that you're Sierra Leonean, they'll speak Mende to you, they'll speak Temne to you, They'll speak Krio to you, because I've had so many people say, oh, you look like my cousin, or you look like this person or that person. Other than maybe what we might be wearing, or if you have a watch on you, something that looks expensive, you're gonna blend in, and people are gonna assume that you're Sierra Leonean just like everybody else that's there, because Sierra Leone, as I mentioned, is a mix of so many different people. You've got people from Liberia, and Liberia also has its own Creole. So you've got people from Liberia, you've got Fulani people there, you've got people that are from Nigeria, you've got Nigerians, you've got Igbo, you've got Yoruba, you've got Limba people. There's so many different ethnic groups in Sierra Leone itself. So everybody speaks Creole, instead of maybe at home or in your village you may speak your language, but when you're in the city, when you're like in Freetown or you're doing business, everybody speaks Creole for the most part. So the next phrase is what's na your name. What's na your name is what is your name. So you can say me name na Aisha. So it's like I said, you might not ask anybody what is your name, but you might. So I was asking people what their name was when I was shopping. People are going to give you their business cards, and if you say what's na your name versus oh what is your name, they're going to appreciate that you're trying to speak the language. The other thing is you can say is how much I get for pay, which is how much will I get, or how much do you want, like how much am I going to pay. So how much is how much. How much I get for pay is basically how much will I get if I'm paying you. Like oftentimes like things are done in weight, so like how much fish will I get for 50,000 leones, or how much will I get for this amount. So how much is how much. So how much I get for pay. The other thing, the other phrase that I like is Audi fembo. So fembo means like family. How is your family? People will often ask about your family. They will ask about your children. So you'll hear pikin. Pikin is like little, like toddler or babies. And then you have bigger kids, which they're just kids. No special word for kids. But that's pretty much it. I wanted to share this because I've been doing some research trying to find different resources on how I can continue to implement Creole culture, Sierra Leone heritage, and Sierra Leone culture into my culture now that I'm at home. So learning the language, learning the food, listening to different music, having books that are in Creole, different like things like that is what I've been trying to implement. So in future videos, I will be sharing ways that you can find these things, ways that you can find these resources. So that is pretty much it. I will leave a link in the description below to the Peace Corps Creole guidebook, which is very, very thick. I believe there's also one in Mende and Temne, but for right now, I'm just working on my Creole. All right, guys, that's it. Life is good. Have a blessed day.